I knew she was cheating on me because she always had the same broken nail. Each time, every single time. It wasn't a chip. It wasn't a flake of polish peeling away to reveal the keratin beneath. It was a jagged, diagonal tear across the left index finger, shearing the nail bed down to the quick, leaving behind a rough white edge that caught on the silk of the pillowcases. It is 3:14 in the morning. The digital clock on the nightstand, a relic from the late 90s, with glowing red segments that seem to vibrate if you stare at them long enough, is the only source of light in the room, casting a hellish crimson wash over the duvet. I am awake. I am always awake at this hour now. The silence in the suburbs is never truly silent. It is a layered tapestry of quiet noises that you only learn to decipher when your heart is hammering a frantic rhythm against your ribs, like a trapped bird throwing itself against the bars of a cage. I can hear the refrigerator downstairs, a low electric hum that cycles on and off with a shudder that travels through the floorboards, up the wall studs, and into the frame of the bed. I can hear the settling of the house, the timber frame contracting in the cooling night air, popping and creaking like the joints of an old man standing up after a long rest. And, most importantly, I can hear her. Elena. She is sleeping on her side, facing away from me, her body curled into a question mark that I no longer know the answer to. Her breathing is rhythmic, a soft, whistling exhalation that used to comfort me, used to be the metronome by which I set my own sleep. Now it sounds like a lie. Even her sleep feels performative, as if she is merely waiting for me to drift off so she can open her eyes and stare into the dark, plotting, remembering, smiling about things I will never know. I carefully, agonizingly slowly, lift my head from the pillow. The fabric of the pillowcase creates a sound like shifting sand against my ear, a noise that seems deafening in the stillness. I hold my breath. I hold it until my lungs burn, until the pressure builds behind my eyes, terrified that the simple act of inhaling will disturb the equilibrium of the room and wake her. She doesn't move. Her shoulder rises and falls with the oceanic tide of her deep sleep. I slide my hand across the mattress. The sheets are Egyptian cotton, 600 thread count, a shade of gray called storm cloud that Elena picked out 3 years ago at a boutique in the city. I remember the day. It was raining. We had laughed as we ran from the car to the store, her coat pulled up over her head, her laughter bright and brittle in the cold air. Now the sheets feel cold, slick, almost reptilian under my fingertips. I inch my fingers forward, traversing the vast, lonely expanse of the mattress that separates us. A distance of only 2 feet physically, but emotionally, it might as well be the whiff of the Atlantic. I reach her hand. It is resting on top of the duvet, limp and relaxed. Her skin is pale in the red gloom of the clocklight. I hover my hand over hers, feeling the radiant heat of her body, a warmth that feels traitorous now. I lower my fingers, light as dust motes, and touch the back of her hand. She doesn't stir. I gently, so gently that it takes me a full minute to complete the motion, rotate her hand so I can see the fingertips. And there it is, the nail on the index finger. She had a manicure 3 days ago. I know this because I saw the charge on the credit card statement, a push notification that lit up my phone while I was sitting in a budget meeting discussing quarterly projections for a product I couldn't care less about. Luxe Nails and Spa, $65. She had come home with them perfect, painted a deep, lustrous burgundy, a color that reminded me of dried blood or old wine. She had tapped them on the granite countertop of the kitchen island while she told me about her day, a rhythmic click, click, click that usually signaled she was impatient or bored. But now the burgundy perfection is ruined. The index nail is snapped. Not just broken, but sheared. I lean in closer, squinting in the dim light. I need to see the texture of the break. I need to analyze the geology of the fracture. It runs from the top right to the bottom left. The edge is ragged. There are tiny, microscopic white stress marks in the polish around the break, spiderweb cracks that suggest force, significant force. This wasn't a result of typing. This wasn't a snag on a sweater. This was leverage. This is the 4th time in 2 months. I let her hand settle back onto the duvet, withdrawing my own hand as if I had just touched a hot stove. I lie back on my pillow, staring up at the ceiling fan.
It's off, but the blades loom above us like the propeller of a crashed airplane, frozen in the moment of impact. I trace the outline of the blades in the darkness, letting my mind spiral backward, dissecting the data, playing back the mental tapes I have been hoarding. The first time it happened was 8 weeks ago. It was a Tuesday. It is always a Tuesday. She had come home late, claiming a flat tire. She was disheveled, flushed, her hair slightly wilder than usual, strands escaping the messy bun she usually wore with such architectural precision. She had walked into the kitchen, thrown her keys on the counter, and immediately went to the sink to wash her hands. I was chopping vegetables, bell peppers, red and yellow, the knife slicing through the crisp skin with a satisfying crunch. I had asked her about the tire. I asked if she needed me to look at the spare. She had laughed, a nervous, fluttering sound, and hidden her left hand in the pocket of her cardigan. "No," she had said, turning her back to me to stare out the window at the darkness of the backyard. "A nice man stopped and helped. It's all sorted."
Later that night, when she thought I was asleep, I saw her in the bathroom. She was standing over the sink with a bottle of acetone and a cotton ball, frantically scrubbing at her nails. She was removing the polish, all of it. But I saw the break then, the index finger, the same diagonal shear. She cut all her nails down that night, filing them into short, practical ovals, erasing the evidence. She told me the next morning she just wanted a fresh start for her hands. But the pattern emerged. The second time, 2 weeks later, Tuesday. She came home with a headache and went straight to bed. I found the broken nail clipping in the bathroom trash can the next morning, buried beneath a makeup wipe, stained with foundation. I fished it out. I held it in my palm like a piece of evidence from a crime scene. I rolled it between my fingers. It was sharp. The third time was the worst. We were at dinner with friends on a Wednesday, the day after the alleged incident. She had tried to hide it with a Band-Aid, claiming she had sliced it while opening a package from Amazon. But during the appetizer, the Band-Aid slipped. Our friend Sarah had pointed it out. "Oh, Elena, that looks painful. Did you shut it in a door?" Elena had gone pale. Not just startled, but drained of color, her eyes darting to me and then back to her hand. She readjusted the Band-Aid with trembling fingers. "Yes," she whispered, "the car door. Stupid of me." But the car door creates a crush injury. It bruises the nail bed. It turns the skin purple and black. Her finger wasn't bruised. The nail was snapped. And now here we are, the 4th break. I close my eyes, and the darkness behind my eyelids is filled with swirling geometric shapes, anxiety manifesting as visual noise. What creates that specific break? I am an engineer. I understand physics. I understand torque, tension, and shear force. To break a nail like that, diagonally, requires a specific grip. It requires the finger to be hooked under something, pulling hard, while the rest of the hand is twisting. Is it a buckle? A heavy, stiff belt buckle that requires force to undo? Is it a latch, an old window latch in a cheap motel room that sticks and requires jiggling? Is it scratching, digging into something or someone in a moment of passion? The thought makes bile rise in my throat, hot and acidic. I swallow it down. I cannot vomit. Vomiting is loud. Vomiting wakes people up. I need to remain a ghost in my own life. I need to observe.
I turn my head to the side and look at the window. The blinds are drawn, but the slats are not perfectly closed. There is a gap, perhaps a 1/4 of an inch, where the street lamp outside filters through. The beam of light hits the dust motes dancing in the air. The room is filled with dust. We clean, or we pay someone to clean, but the dust always returns. It is the skin of our past selves, sloughed off and floating around us, forcing us to breathe in who we used to be. I watch a single dust mote. It drifts slowly, caught in a thermal updraft from the heating vent. It rises, catches the light, flares like a dying star, and then disappears into the shadow of the wardrobe. I need to see the car. The thought arrives fully formed, unexpected, but undeniable. If she was out, she said she was at her yoga class, the late session, the one that ends at 9. There might be evidence in the car. She came home at 9:40. The studio is 15 minutes away. That leaves 25 minutes unaccounted for. 25 minutes is enough time for a conversation. It's enough time for a goodbye. It's enough time to break a nail. I carefully push the duvet down. The cool air of the room hits my legs. I am wearing flannel pajama bottoms, worn thin at the knees.
I swing my legs over the side of the bed. My feet touch the hardwood floor. It is cold, a shocking, biting cold that travels up my shins. I curl my toes, gripping the wood, testing the floorboard that sits just to the left of the nightstand. I know this house better than I know my own body. I know that this specific board groans if you step in the center. I step to the extreme right, near the wall. Silence. I stand up. My knees crack, a soft, wet sound, but the HVAC hum masks it. I look back at Elena. She hasn't moved. The red light of the clock washes over her hair, turning the blonde strands into copper wire. I move toward the door. The carpet in the hallway is safer. It's a plush, beige pile that swallows sound. I step out into the corridor. The house is massive at night. The shadows stretch out from the doorways like fingers reaching for me. The children's rooms are down the hall, empty now. They are at university. The emptiness of the nest amplifies the silence. There is no reason for us to be awake. No crying babies, no nightmares to soothe. Just two adults pretending everything is fine. I walk past the bathroom. The faucet is dripping. Plip, plip, plip. I should fix that. I've been saying I'll fix that for 6 months. It's a washer, a 10-cent part.
But I can't bring myself to do it. The dripping is a constant reminder of things left undone, of the erosion of our home. I descend the stairs. The staircase is a semi-spiral, hard wood with a runner. I stick to the edges of the steps, holding the banister. The wood of the banister is smooth, polished by years of hands sliding down it. It feels tacky tonight, humid. The kitchen is bathed in the blue glow of the microwave clock and the green LEDs of the oven. It looks like the cockpit of a spaceship. I walk to the mudroom door, which leads to the garage. This is the danger zone. The door to the garage is heavy, a fire door with a spring-loaded hinge that wants to slam shut. If I let it go, it will boom through the house like a gunshot.
I turn the knob. The brass is cold. I twist it slowly, feeling the internal mechanism engage, the latch tongue retracting. I pull the door toward me. The seal breaks with a sucking sound, a gasp of air. I hold the weight of the door, fighting the spring. I slip through the gap, my body sideways, and gently, with the precision of a bomb disposal technician, guide the door back into the frame until the latch clicks. A soft snick. The garage is freezing. The concrete slab retains the winter chill. The smell is different here. Gasoline, rubber, potting soil, and the faint metallic tang of tools. The single overhead bulb is on a motion sensor. I freeze. If I move too much, it will snap on, flooding the garage with harsh, unforgiving fluorescent light. The light might leak under the door into the kitchen. I have to move slowly, under the radar of the sensor. Her car is parked on the left, a white SUV. It looks innocent enough. It's a suburban tank, designed for grocery runs and carpools, not for illicit rendezvous. But cars are confessionals. They hold secrets in the crevices of their seats, in the fibers of the floor mats. I approach the driver's side. The car is locked. I didn't bring the keys. Idiot. I left them in the bowl on the kitchen counter. I can't go back.
The risk of the door noise is too great. But then I remember, she often leaves it unlocked when she parks in the garage. She feels safe here. She thinks this is a sanctuary. I try the handle. It resists for a microsecond, then gives. Unlocked. I open the door. The interior light dome is disabled. I did that. I pulled the fuse months ago, telling her it was a short circuit I hadn't gotten around to fixing. I did it for moments like this, so I could search without a beacon announcing my presence. I slide into the driver's seat. The leather is cold and stiff. It groans under my weight. I sit still, waiting for the sound to die away. I breathe in. Perfume. Not hers. Wait. No, it is hers. But it's stronger, fresher. She puts on perfume before she leaves the house. By the time she comes home after yoga, it should be a faint memory, a base note of vanilla and musk. But this hits me hard. Top notes of jasmine and bergamot. She reapplied. Why would you reapply perfume after a yoga class? You reapply perfume to cover something up. Sweat? Or the scent of another person? I run my hands over the steering wheel. It's sticky. Hand sanitizer? Lotion? I reach for the center console. I open the compartment. Inside, a pack of gum, mint, unopened, a charging cable, a handful of coins, a pen.
Nothing. I check the passenger seat. I run my hand over the leather. It's clean. I check the floor mats on the passenger side. My fingers brush against something small and hard in the pile of the carpet. I pick it up. I hold it up to the faint light coming from the window in the garage door. It's a pebble. No, not a pebble. It's a piece of gravel. But it's not the gray crushed granite we have in our driveway. It's white. White marble landscaping rock. Sharp, angular. The kind used in high-end garden paths or commercial planters. We don't have white gravel. The yoga studio has a paved lot. I squeeze the stone in my hand until the sharp edges dig into my palm, grounding me in the pain. Where is there white gravel? The Italian restaurant downtown? No, they have pavers. The park by the river? No, that's dirt and mulch. The motel. The Starlight Inn on the outskirts of town. The one near the highway exit. They renovated last year. They put in those modern xeriscaped planter beds in front of the ground floor rooms. White gravel. I feel a cold sweat breaking out on my forehead. It's conjecture. It's a rock. It could be from anywhere. A construction site she drove past. A tire tread throwing it into the car when she opened the door. But the nail and the gravel.
I lean back against the headrest. I close my eyes. I need to visualize the motion. If she was at the Starlight Inn, the doors there are old. They have those heavy brass thumb latch handles. You have to depress the thumb lever with force while pulling the heavy door toward you. If you use your left hand to open the door, your index finger wraps around the handle. Your thumb presses the latch. If the door sticks,
If you slip, your index finger scrapes against the strike plate or the rough wood of the door jamb. It fits. Physics, anatomy, architecture, it all fits. I sit there in the dark garage for what feels like an hour. The cold seeps into my bones, turning my marrow to ice. I am shivering, not just from the temperature, but from the adrenaline crash. I have the puzzle pieces, but the picture they form is a monster. I need to go back inside. I need to be in bed before she wakes up. If she wakes up and I'm not there, the game changes. She becomes defensive. She puts her guard up. I need her comfortable. I need her slobby. I exit the car. I close the door, pressing firmly on the frame so the latch engages without clicking. I walk back to the mudroom door. I open it, navigate the spring-loaded danger, and slip back into the kitchen. The house feels different now.
It feels like a stage set. The props are all in place. The coffee maker, the toaster, the fruit bowl with the bruising bananas. But the script has been rewritten. It is a tragedy now. I climb the stairs. The silence is oppressive. It feels like the house is holding its breath, waiting for me to scream, to break something, to set fire to the curtains. But I don't. I am the sneaky neighbor. I watch. I wait. I creep back into the bedroom. The red eyes of the clock stare at me. 3:58 a.m. I have been gone 44 minutes. I slide back into bed. The sheets are still warm on her side, but my side has gone cold. I lie on my back, pulling the duvet up to my chin. I listen to her breathing. It has changed slightly. It's shallower. Is she awake? Did she hear me? David.
Her voice is a croak, thick with sleep. My heart stops. It physically stops beating for a second, a skipped stutter in my chest. Yeah, I whisper. I'm here. Where did you go? She shifts, rolling onto her back. I can feel her looking at me in the dark. Bathroom. I lie. Drank too much water. She rolls back over, turning her back to me again. You're cold. Sorry. She sighs, settling back into the pillow. I watch her hand. She has tucked the left hand, the one with the broken nail, under the pillow, hiding it. Even in her sleep, she is hiding it. I don't sleep for the rest of the night. I watch the room change. I watch the darkness turn from black to navy to a bruised purple. I watch the red numbers on the clock tick forward, dismantling the remaining time of our marriage, minute by minute. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. At 6:30, the alarm goes off. It's a soft chime, meant to be a gentle awakening, but today it sounds like a siren. Elena reaches out and hits the snooze button. She uses her right hand. She groans, stretching her legs. God, I'm tired. She mumbles into the pillow. Rough night? I ask. My voice sounds strange to my own ears. Too high, too tight. Just didn't sleep well, she says. She sits up. The duvet falls away.
She is wearing an oversized t-shirt, one of mine from a charity 5K run 10 years ago. It hangs off her shoulder. She looks beautiful. That's the cruelty of it. Betrayal doesn't make them ugly. It makes them radiant with a secret life, glowing with the energy of something new, while you rot in the stagnant water of the familiar. She swings her legs out of bed and stands up. Coffee? Please, I say. She walks to the bathroom. I listen. The light flicks on. The fan whirs to life. I hear the water running. I hear the cabinet door open. She is looking for a Band-Aid. She is looking for the file. I get up and dress. I choose a gray suit. Neutral. Professional. Armor. I tie my tie in the mirror, watching my own face. I look tired. There are dark circles under my eyes, pouches of exhaustion. I look like a man who knows something he shouldn't. I need to fix my face. I practice a smile. It looks like a grimace. I relax my jaw. Normal. Be normal. I go downstairs. The smell of coffee is filling the kitchen. It's a dark roast, rich and bitter. Alina is standing at the counter, her back to me. She is buttering toast. I look at her hands. She has put a Band-Aid on her index finger, a flesh-colored one, designed to be invisible, but to me, it glows like a neon sign.
Toast, she offers, turning around. She holds out a plate. Thanks. I take a piece. It's dry. I bite into it, the crumbs falling onto my shirt. What happened to your finger? I ask it casually. I ask it while looking at the coffee pot, not at her. There is a pause, a beat of silence that lasts exactly 1 second too long. Oh, she says. This? Just snagged it on the drawer handle. You know that top drawer that gets stuck. I really need you to fix that. The drawer handle. Last night, it was the drawer handle. The time before, it was the car door. The time before that, it was the garden gate. Right, I say. I'll take a look at it this weekend. Thanks, sweetie. She smiles. It's a practiced smile. It doesn't reach her eyes. Her eyes are guarded, scanning my face for suspicion. I take a sip of coffee. It scalds my tongue, but the pain is grounding. So, how was yoga last night? Good, she says, turning back to the counter to wipe up a crumb. She is avoiding eye contact. Intense. The instructor, Mark, he's really pushing us on the core work. Mark, I repeat. Is he the new one? Yeah, he's very good. I bet. She stiffens slightly. Did she hear the edge in my voice? I need to dial it back. I mean, that's great.
You've been looking really fit lately. Thanks. She relaxes. Flattery is a sedative. I'm going to jump in the shower. You coming home late tonight? Normal time, I say. 6-ish. Okay, maybe we can order sushi? Sure. Sushi sounds good. She walks past me, trailing that scent of jasmine and bergamot. She kisses me on the cheek. Her lips are dry. Love you, she says automatically, a reflex, like saying bless you after a sneeze. Love you too, I say. I wait until I hear the shower start upstairs. Then I move. I go to the trash can under the sink. I step on the pedal. The lid pops up. On top is the paper towel she used to wipe the counter. Beneath that, coffee grounds. I dig deeper. I push aside a banana peel. There, the cotton ball from this morning. It's soaked in acetone and stained with burgundy polish. And next to it, the shard, the piece of nail she clipped off before applying the Band-Aid. I pick it up. I rinse it off in the sink, carefully, like I'm washing a diamond. I dry it on a paper towel. I take out my phone. I place the nail shard on the black granite counter. I zoom in. I take a photo. High definition. Then I take the nail shard and I put it in my pocket. I have a collection now. 3 shards.
Wrapped in tissue paper, hidden in the back of my sock drawer in a small tin box that used to hold mints. Why do I keep them? Because I am building a case. Because I am insane. Because I need to know that I am not imagining this. I leave the house. I get into my car. I back out of the driveway. I see Elena's car in the garage as the door goes down. I stare at the white SUV. I look at the passenger side floor mat in my mind's eye. The white gravel. I don't drive to work. I drive to the Starlight Inn. It's 7:15 a.m. The morning traffic is building, a river of red taillights and frustration. I merge onto the highway, heading away from the city center, toward the industrial edge of town where the motels cluster like barnacles.
The Starlight Inn is a relic of the 1960s, a U-shaped two-story building with a neon sign that buzzes even in the daylight. It has been repainted recently, a trendy mid-century turquoise, trying to capitalize on the retro aesthetic. I pull into the parking lot. It's mostly empty. A few work trucks, a sedan with a flat tire. I drive slowly past the rooms. I am looking for the landscaping. And there it is. In front of the ground floor rooms, separating the sidewalk from the parking spots, are long rectangular planter boxes made of corten steel, and inside the boxes, surrounding the drought-tolerant succulents, is gravel, white, marble, chips. I stop the car. I roll down the window. I stare at the rocks. They are jagged, bright white, dusty. They match the stone in her car exactly. I look at the doors of the rooms. They are heavy wood, painted bright orange. And the handles. My heart hammers. The handles are vintage thumb latch grips, brushed steel, vertical. You grip the handle, your thumb presses the top lever, and you pull. If you are standing outside, fumbling for a key card, or waiting for someone to open the door from the inside, and the door is thrown open quickly, your hand could slip.
Your index finger would be caught between the handle and a heavy wood jamb. Snap. I visualize Elena standing there. It's Tuesday night, 9:15 p.m. She is leaving. She is rushing because she needs to get home to me. She is flustered, maybe crying, maybe laughing. She pulls the door shut. It sticks. She yanks it. Her nail catches. Pain. A sharp intake of breath. She looks at her finger. It's bleeding slightly. The nail is ruined. She curses. She gets in her car. She drives home, rehearsing the lie about the drawer handle. I put the car in park. I get out. I walk over to the planter box in front of room 104. I crouch down. I pretend to be tying my shoe. I pick up a handful of the white stones. I let them sift through my fingers. They clatter back down, loud in the morning quiet. I need to know who is in room 104 or 105 or any of them. I walk to the front office. The lobby smells of stale coffee and industrial cleaner. The man behind the desk is young, bored, wearing a hoodie and watching a video on his phone. "Help you?" he asks, not looking up. "I think my wife might have left her earring here," I say. It's a clumsy lie, but I'm not a professional spy. I'm just a husband with a pocket full of broken fingernails. She was here last night. Dropped off a colleague.
The clerk looks up. His eyes are glazed. "What room?" "I'm not sure," I say. "White SUV, around 9 o'clock. He shrugs. "I wasn't on shift. Manager was here. He comes in at 10. "Right." I look at the register book on the counter. It's closed. "Do you have cameras? In the parking lot?" He points to a monitor on the wall behind him. It shows a grainy black and white grid of the lot. "Yeah, but we don't give out footage without a warrant, buddy. Policy." "I don't need the footage," I say, leaning in. "I just want to know if a white SUV was here." "Look, man," the kid says, his voice hardening. "I don't know who you are. If you got beef with your wife, that's your business. Take it somewhere else." I stare at him. I want to grab him by the hoodie. I want to scream that my life is dissolving, and he is the gatekeeper, but I don't. I nod. "Sorry," I say. "Sorry to bother you." I walk out. I get back in my car. I have confirmed the gravel. I have confirmed the door handles. It is circumstantial, yes, but in the court of my mind, the jury has already returned a verdict. Now, I need a confession, or I need to catch them.
Tuesday. It happens on Tuesdays. Today is Wednesday. I have 6 days. 6 days to plan. 6 days to prepare. I drive to work.
I sit in my cubicle. I stare at spreadsheets. The numbers swim before my eyes. I am checking the clock every 5 minutes. The day is a glacier, moving inches per year. At lunch, I go to a hardware store. I buy a voice-activated recorder. Small, black, magnetic. It has a battery life of 48 hours. I also buy a GPS tracker. It's expensive. A little gray box the size of a matchbook. It requires a subscription. I pay cash for the device. I register it with a burner email address on my phone in the parking lot. I feel like a criminal. I feel dirty. But the dirtiness is necessary. It's the mud you have to crawl through to get to the truth. I drive home at 5:30. The commute is autopilot. I don't remember the turns. I pull into the garage. Her car is there. I get out. I listen at the door. I hear music inside. Jazz. She's cooking. I crouch down behind her SUV. I feel under the rear bumper. There is a metal lip. I slide the magnetic GPS tracker up inside the frame, finding a flat spot where it won't fall off. It clicks into place with a satisfying metallic snap. I activate it on my phone app. A blue dot appears on the map. 124 Maple Drive. Parked. It's live. I stand up, brush the dust off my knees, and take a deep breath. I compose my face. I enter the house.
Hey, Elena calls from the kitchen. She is wearing an apron. She is chopping scallions. Sushi is on the way. I decided to make a salad to go with it. Smells good, I say. I walk over and kiss her. I smell the jasmine perfume. It's lighter now, worn off from the day. I look at her hand holding the knife. The Band-Aid is still there. How was work? She asks. Fine, I say. Same old stuff? How was your day? Busy, she says. Had a conference call with the London team. Dragged on for hours. Oh? I lean against the counter, crossing my arms. Did you go out at all? She pauses mid-chop. Just a hesitation. No? Just stayed here? Why? Just asking. She resumes chopping. You're acting weird, David. Is everything okay? I'm fine, I say. Just tired. We eat dinner, we watch a show, we go to bed.
The next 5 days are a blur of torture. I watch the blue dot on my phone constantly. Thursday, she goes to the grocery store, the dry cleaners, home. Friday, work, gym, home. Saturday, we go for a hike. I hold her hand. I feel the Band-Aid. It's a new one. She changed it. The cut underneath must be healing. Sunday, brunch with her parents. We smile. We play the happy couple. I feel like I am in a play where I forgot my lines, improvising my way through the scenes. Monday, work, home. Tuesday, the day of reckoning. I wake up with a pit in my stomach. The air feels charged, electric with anticipation. Yoga tonight? I ask over coffee. She nods. She is looking at her phone. Yeah, 7:30 class. I'll be back late. Okay. I go to work, but I don't work. I sit in my office with the door closed. I have the tracking app open on my desktop monitor. 5 p.m. She leaves work. 5:30 p.m. She arrives home. 6 p.m. The dot stays at home. 7 p.m. The dot moves. She is driving. I watch the blue line trace her path through the city streets. She is heading toward the yoga studio. 7:15 p.m. She arrives at the studio. The dot stops. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she really is just doing yoga. Maybe the nail breaks are a coincidence. Maybe the gravel was from a construction zone. I wait.
7:30 p.m. Class starts. 7:45 p.m. The dot is still at the studio. 8 p.m. I am about to close the browser.
I am about to breathe a sigh of relief so profound it might collapse my lungs. And then, the dot moves. It moves slowly at first, exiting the parking lot. Then it picks up speed. It turns left. Away from our house. Away from the studio. It heads toward the highway. My blood turns to slush. I grab my keys. I run out of the office. I don't bother locking my computer. I get in my car. I drive. I am watching the phone mounted on my dashboard. The blue dot is moving south on I-95. She is doing 70 miles per hour. Where is she going? The Starlight Inn is the other way. She takes exit 14. The industrial park. Warehouses. Storage units. The old shipyard. This is not a romantic rendezvous spot. This is where you go to hide a body. Or buy drugs. The dot turns onto a side road. River Road. It's a dead end that leads to the old textile mill that's been abandoned for 20 years. She stops. The dot is stationary. I am 10 minutes behind her. I drive like a maniac, weaving through traffic, running a yellow light that turns red while I'm under it. I take exit 14. The street lights are broken here. The road is potholed. I slow down. I turn off my headlights.
I am driving by the light of the moon and the ambient glow of the city behind me. I turn onto River Road. I see the silhouette of the mill against the night sky. It's a hulking, jagged skeleton of brick and broken glass. And there, parked near the chain-link fence that surrounds the property, is the white SUV. And another car, a black sedan, low, sleek, expensive. I pull my car onto the grass shoulder, hiding it behind a clump of overgrown bushes about 100 yards away. I killed the engine. I get out. I am wearing my suit shoes. They crunch on the gravel. I move to the grass. I creep forward. The night air is thick with the smell of the river, mud, algae, and decay. I get closer. I can see two figures standing between the cars. One is Elena. I recognize her coat, the beige trench coat. The other is a man, tall, wearing a dark jacket. They are not kissing. They are not embracing. They are arguing. I can hear their voices, carried by the wind, but I can't make out the words. Their body language is jagged, sharp. Elena is gesturing wildly with her hands. The man is standing still, arms crossed, a monolith of refusal. I creep closer. I need to hear. I need to know who he is. Is it Mark, the yoga instructor? I hide behind a rusted dumpster. I am 30 feet away now.
I can't do it anymore. Elena's voice, shrill, desperate. It's too much pressure. He's asking questions. He knows nothing, the man says. His voice is deep, calm, terrifyingly controlled. You're paranoid, Elena. He found the nail, she hisses. I saw him looking at it. He checked the trash. So? It's a fingernail. It proves nothing. It proves stress, she screams, then lowers her voice. It proves I'm prying that damned latch open every week. Why can't we meet somewhere else? Why does it have to be the container? Container. Because the container is secure, the man says. And the latch is only stiff because you don't lift it properly. I've told you. Lift and twist. I'm breaking my fingers, she sobs. I'm ruining my hands. And for what? For this? She gestures at the black sedan. For the money, Elena, the man says coldly. Remember the money. You like the lifestyle, don't you? You like the house, the car, the vacations? I freeze. The cold of the dumpster seeps into my back. This isn't an affair. This isn't sex. I want out, Elena says. I'm done.
I brought the package. Take it. I'm not coming back next Tuesday. She reaches into her car. She pulls out a duffel bag. A gym bag. I thought it held yoga clothes. It looks heavy.
She throws it at the man's feet. It lands with a heavy, metallic thud. "That's the last of it," she says. The man looks down at the bag. Then he looks at her. "You know it doesn't work like that, Elena. You don't just walk away." "I am," she says. She turns to get into her car. The man moves. He moves with a blur of speed that is unnatural. He grabs her arm. "Let go of me," she screams. I can't stay hidden. I can't watch this. I step out from behind the dumpster. "Hey," I shout. My voice cracks, but it's loud. "Get your hands off her." Both of them freeze. They turn to look at me. Elena's face is a mask of pure horror. "David?" The man looks at me. He doesn't look scared. He looks annoyed. He looks like a man dealing with a minor administrative error. He releases Elena. "David, go," Elena screams. "Get in the car and go."
"Who is this?" I ask, walking forward. My legs feel like lead. "What is in the bag, Elena?"
David, please.
She is crying now.
You don't understand.
The man smiles. It is a shark smile. "So," he says, "the husband, the engineer. How do you know who I am?" I demand. "Elena talks," he says. "She talks a lot. About your job, about your routine, about how observant you are." He looks at Elena. "I told you he was a liability."
He knows nothing.
Elena pleads.
He just followed me. He doesn't know about the...
She stops herself. "The what?" I look at the bag. "Drugs? Is it drugs?" The man laughs. A dry, barking sound. "Drugs? No. Much more boring. And much more valuable." He bends down and unzips the bag. He reaches in and pulls out an object. It shines in the moonlight. It's a prototype. A hard drive housing unit. Milled aluminum. I recognize it. I designed it. It's the encryption core for the new guidance system my firm is developing for the Defense Department. It's classified top secret. It's worth billions. My mind reels. The late nights. The yoga. The broken nails.
She wasn't cheating on me with a man. She was stealing from me. She was stealing my life's work, piece by piece, prototype by prototype. "You," I whisper, "you're the leak?" Elena is sobbing, her hands covering her face. "They have photos, David, of us, of the kids. They said they'd heard them. They said, 'Save it.'" The man snaps. He drops the prototype back in the bag. He reaches into his jacket pocket. He pulls out a gun. A silencer is attached. It looks comically long, like something from a movie. "Well," the man says, "this complicates the Tuesday schedule." "Run!" Elena screams. She throws herself at him. She tackles him. It's clumsy, desperate. She slams into his chest. The gun goes off. A sound like a stable gun. Elena gasps. She stumbles back. She looks down at her stomach. A dark stain was spreading on the beige trench coat. "Elena!" I scream. I run. I don't run away. I run at him. Blind rage. Pure white-hot fury. I am 45 years old. I have bad knees. I am an engineer. But I hit him with the force of a freight train. We go down onto the gravel.
The gun skitters away. He is strong, stronger than me. He punches me in the face. I feel my nose break. A crunch. Warm blood fills my throat. I claw at his eyes. He knees me in the ribs. I roll away, gasping for air. I look for the gun. It's under the black sedan. The man is getting up. He is adjusting his jacket. He looks calm again. He walks toward the car to get the gun. I look at Elena. She is on the ground. She is not moving. "David," she whispers. I look at the man. He is reaching under the car. I look at the duffel bag. It is open. The heavy aluminum prototype is visible. I grab the bag. I swing it. I swing it with every ounce of leverage I understand. Torque, centrifugal force. The bag swings in a wide arc. The heavy metal corner of the prototype catches the man in the temple just as he stands up. Crack. A sound much louder than the gun. The sound of bone giving way to metal. He drops like a stone. He doesn't twitch. Silence crashes back down on River Road. The only sound is the wind in the dead grass and my own ragged breathing. I crawl over to Elena.
Elena, I choke out. She is pale. Her eyes are unfocused. "I'm sorry," she whispers. "I'm so sorry. I broke the nail opening the container. The drop box. It has a rusty latch." "Shh," I say. I press my hands against the wound. "Don't talk." "I didn't cheat," she says, a faint smile touching her lips. "I never cheated." I know. She closes her eyes. Her breathing is shallow. I fumble for my phone. My hands are slick with blood. I dial 911. "Ambulance," I scream. "River Road. The old mill. Gunshot wound." I drop the phone. I hold her hand. I look at her left hand. The index finger. The Band-Aid has fallen off in the struggle. The nail is broken. Jagged. Diagonal. It wasn't a betrayal of the heart. It was a betrayal of everything else. I hear sirens in the distance. They are getting louder. I look at the man lying in the gravel. I look at the bag of stolen secrets. I look at the sky. The moon is bright. Indifferent. I realize then that the story isn't over. Who was he working for? Who has the photos of the kids? They will come looking for the bag.
They will come looking for us. The sirens are close now. Blue and red lights flash against the brick of the old mill. I lean down and kiss Elena's forehead. "Stay with me," I whisper. "We have to fix this." She squeezes my hand. Weakly, but she squeezes it. Her broken nail digs into my palm. It hurts. And the pain tells me we are still alive. I watch the police cars tear around the corner, gravel spraying. I raise my hands. But my mind is already calculating, planning. I am the sneaky neighbor. I observed. I found the truth. Now, I have to survive it.